The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Last week, we watched Panic Room.
This week we watched The Godfather.
The connection is organized crime. No, it's family.
No.
The connection is always family.
No, the connection's organized crime.
Don't ask me about my business. Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. My name is Zach. I am joined by Sandro here, and this week we're finally watching an oldie and a goodie.
We're going back further than you have ever been before.
We literally watched the 1920s. That is just incorrect information.
I mean, specifically in this season,
bada
bing, bada boom, you are very, I can do that, I'm Italian.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shit. Oh, you have the big advantage this episode. You can really say whatever you want. You got that Sicilian look, you know, Sandro.
That's racist.
I can believe. No. I can see you in a fedora, you know, trench coat, you know.
Oh, you bastardo! You making fun of me?
No, Don. No. I love you, Don. I love the family.
The God, yeah, you made us watch well, I mean, I picked it, but you made us watch The Godfather.
At gunpoint, I pointed a gun to his head and I said, "You and me, we're gonna be family. We're gonna watch this movie and we're gonna be closer than ever. And we never talk business."
That's right. So get those cotton balls in your mouth and get ready for we're doing it. We're doing The Godfather.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we haven't already done The Godfather.
I agree.
I think we've talked about doing The Godfather a lot over the literal years that we've done this episode. Especially, because I think we've gone over it at least twice before. One of them when we were doing all the years as well, right? When we did 1920s to 2000s.
Did we do frogs instead? I think we did frogs instead of this one.
Oh, yeah, that'd be right. Oh, what an awful choice.
Yeah,
what an awful choice.
I was probably picking that week, to be honest. But yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say it. I think, and now hold on to your horses here. I think The Godfather is better than frogs. I'm just going to say it.
You know what? I have thoughts on The Godfather, and we'll get into it. But I do agree that Frogs was definitely a worse movie than this one.
Ah, that's intriguing. What do you think about this movie then? What would we say first impressions of this movie would be? Without any spoilers, of course.
My first impressions are you should do yours first as my first impressions.
Whoa.
So you go ahead and do your first impressions first, Mr. Zach. Don Zacharone. No.
Yeah. Well, you see, Sandro, after watching this movie, it's now my entire personality.
Yep.
It was pretty good. I like this one a lot. I really got into it. I wasn't super into it at first, you know, I was into it, right?
Yeah.
But it hadn't grabbed me yet. I was watching it, I was enjoying it, it was a film. But halfway through, when things start going off, I was in there, you know? Mm-hmm. This one dragged me in, and I was in there. And at one point, I even gasped out loud.
Oh, wow, you gasped.
I was like, oh, shit, you know, I emoted in real life. This brought out real life responses. So I'm going to say I quite enjoyed this film. I think this is definitely a film that was up my alley as well, you know.
For sure.
The whole political maneuvering, the silent chess game. And I'm sitting there, I'm biting at my teeth. I'm like, oh shit, what's going to happen? What's going to go wrong? Because always something goes wrong, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And oh my god, the ending. Oh my god, the ending's so good.
We are going to do non-spoilers and then spoilers, but yeah, for sure. That is, yeah.
I love the ending so much.
Okay.
This film definitely, for me personally, it really ramped up. I mean, the film ramped up, like it was.
Yes.
But like, my enjoyment ramped up with the ramping up of this film. You know, it starts off slow and then it gets going, and it's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I like the escalation. Like, you know, the movie, like, not much happens for, like, 40 minutes, and then it's like, oh my gosh, stuff is happening, and then a lot of stuff is happening, then even more stuff is happening.
Can you imagine this film as it came out? The people going to see this before TikTok even existed to destroy people's attention spans? And they watched this with,
true.
like, thing after thing happening, just... It would have blown your mind seeing it when it came out.
I don't know. I think, yeah, like, this is one of those movies that's up there with Citizen Kane in terms of, like, very influential movies. Everyone's always, like, pointing to... I mean, The Godfather Part 2, famously one of the first movies ever to have a Part 2 in its name. So that movie...
yeah.
Created franchises. Not entirely true, but also kind of true a little bit as well.
I would agree. This film's a roller coaster. And...
Yes. No, exactly. But, yeah, like, you know, it's definitely an influential movie. I think at the time, it made a lot of money. Like... It was pretty much instantly a classic, so...
I mean, I've seen almost every part of this movie done in parody.
Oh, yeah, me too.
At some point, right?
Yeah.
Especially that ending. But it's like, wow. It was fun. I enjoyed this a lot. I had a great time watching this movie. It was very fun.
Awesome.
I'd give it 2 thumbs up. Definitely a very good watch. Like, and I mean, that's to be expected. A lot of people say it's like... the greatest or one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going into it, I had pretty high expectations for it. And I would say it met them.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know if it exceeded them.
Yeah, for sure.
But it certainly met them.
It certainly met them. That's fair. That's very fair to say.
And it's interesting to think about, like, comparing this with, like, Silence of the Lambs and all that sort of thing. Like, the idea of a perfect movie cannot exist.
Yes.
But we can always try and get there, and it's an interesting... After watching this, that's all I could think about, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, that's good that you thought that. I'm very glad that those are your thoughts and your opinions on the movie The Godfather.
So how bad was this movie, Sandra?
I don't think it's bad. I just... This is obviously a very influential movie in the gangster genre. I love some gangster movies. I don't like a lot of them. There's a lot of, like, early, like, Scorsese or, like, Michael Mann stuff where I'm like, I don't care about this. But, you know, I like a lot of gangster movies, and I don't know if this one, I feel like the genre got better. And I can't say that this is a bad movie at all, because it inspired a lot of really good stuff, but I just don't think it's as good as...
You didn't like it? You weren't huge?
I was a little bit bored, not gonna lie. A little bit bored with this. And I think the reason is I just didn't care about anyone, really. Like, I feel like, you know, modern gangster movies of this length, like The Irishman, for example, which has its problems, but I really enjoyed The Irishman overall. That was like a character piece where it's like, you've got the gangster elements, it's like people are betraying other people, you've got all the political stuff, you've got massive time jumps, all that shit that is a lot of fun. You got the crime wars, all that stuff, but you're still just kind of following a character and you like the character. Whereas with this, I mean, Al Pacino was interesting, but he wasn't the main character until halfway through, really.
I mean, and I'm not going to lie, Sandra, I was pretty invested.
You were pretty invested? That's fair.
But it sounded like you thought the movie insisted upon itself.
Oh my goodness. It insists upon itself. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair point. If you didn't like grasp onto the characters, then you probably wouldn't have been like, it's a character-based movie, so it wouldn't have pulled you in as much. Whereas I was definitely there following the main character, and I was attached.
Yeah.
I attached myself to the characters. And so specifically when something happens later on in the film, I was like, no! I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I was very, I was ready to embrace these characters and be like, yep.
Yeah.
And so when shit hits the fan, it was nail biting for me. It was like a very quick Game of Thrones, essentially, right? If you think about it.
I mean, that is, Game of Thrones is at its heart, that is a very political story. So yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. So it was like 2 hours of Game of Thrones, like sped up. Because
3 hours, Zach. This movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah. But the first hour is a wedding. So, like, there's not much going on in that. No spoilers.
You come to me on the day I put cotton balls in my mouth. Oh, I've got to say, in our intro for the Patreon episode that I put out last week, Mannequin, because we took a week off, for the intro of that, I said that the "you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding" quote is from part 2. No, it's from this one, actually. I thought it was from part 2 for some reason. I was misinformed.
Well, it's from the same book.
I mean,
same
book.
You're more of a book reader, You're none of this fancy film roller coaster shenanigans. You're more of a book guy.
I genuinely feel like I would like the movie more if I had read the book. I don't think I want to read the book because I did read Shogun this year and it was very long, and I don't want to read a book that long.
You're a bit book exhausted.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think I would enjoy the book, and I think that would make, because you'd be more in the heads of the characters, which is pretty much the only thing I was missing from this movie.
Yeah, it gives you a better perspective of where their head's at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, are they feeling confident in the situation, which reflects their outward confidence, or are they more, like, insecure?
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, that sort of thing. Which is why I think, especially in most recent movies, Dune.
Yes.
I think having read the books was a definite, like, benefit going into the recent Dune films.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a bit like Lord of the Rings, where there's a lot of things that have to be put aside for a movie.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped watching Dune, because there was, like, storylines where I was like, oh, this is a bit from the book that I really loved, but it wasn't in the film, but it had a big influence on the story.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm able to piece that together because I've read the books.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, they probably did that in this, but also the guy who wrote the book essentially wrote the screenplay for all 3 movies as well. So, who knows? But yeah, that's my main thing with this movie, is I just didn't really care about anyone. I think the acting, I have Marlon Brando's performance is iconic. Is it good? I don't know. I don't think his performance as the old Don is necessarily good.
I think it's good. I mean, like,
he's very, what acting choice did he make? It's a very, Jared Leto style. What do you think you're doing here?
Yeah, but I mean,
I think
old and raspy,
Yeah.
I think it had the desired effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's iconic now, and I think it was a good choice. I think it was interesting because it gives him an air of authority, almost this weirdness, but everybody's like,
that's true. Yeah.
You could tell immediately that he's different from everyone else.
Yes. Yeah, he's very he acts like he's not the president, but he acts like he's a politician, and that performance, I think, lends towards that kind of
exactly
godfatherly vibe.
It's possibly was a bit inspired by Churchill, actually.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because Churchill had a lot of similarities to that sort of mannerisms, I would say. But But I think you're on the right track, that it was definitely like politician.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, that's kind of a theme throughout, is that they are very similar to that sort of thing, like a position of high power, right?
There's a line in the movie where someone's like, why don't you get into politics? There won't be any murder, drugs, or anything like that. And one of the characters is like, that's not true. And I thought that was really funny. Because, like this is essentially like, you know, it is about war. It's a gang war. It's not like a country war, but still, like, you know, that was all good. I don't know. I was just missing a little bit of something. Also, technically as well, there were a lot of things in this. I know it's from the 70s, so I don't want to rag on it too much, but the fight scenes in this, with guns, great. Loved it. Some kind of bad, deaf acting here and there, but that's fine. I can forgive it.
I literally, near the end, there was one that was like, they should have flopped, but they just kind of lay down.
Yes. No, exactly.
which was quite funny to me. But, like,
you know, that's fine. But there's like a couple like fist fights in this that were... Nothing was connecting. I could tell that they were just stage acting. It was kind of funny, but also like in a movie that's considered one of the best ever, I was like, I kind of expected more from this than just staged acting.
Its reputation does it a disservice.
Yes.
For sure. But like, for me, it was able to overcome that. Potentially for you, it was not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the thing is like, when people are like, this is one of the greatest movies of all time, and I'm finally watching it, you know, as an adult, I am definitely going to pick it apart a little bit more than I usually would.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And we still haven't watched the second one. And the second one, as you say, is part of the first book. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Maybe you like the second one more. You know?
I feel like a lot of people say the second one's better. Pretty much across the board, I think people think the second one's better, which is surprising.
Terminator 2 situation.
I guess. Yeah,
because Terminator 2 is better than the first one.
That's not true, though, but yeah, sure. Terminator 1's better. I'll stand on this hill.
It's like poking a bear, you know? It's like, Terminator 2, everyone agrees that one's just the better one, superior in every way, you know?
And also, like, Godfather Part 3 as well is apparently quite bad, but I want to watch it because I want to, you know, and, like, that's the thing as well. This is directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who, you know, famously, he's the dad and uncle of Nicolas Cage. I think he's Nicolas Cage's uncle. Jason Schwartzman, I recently learned, was a Coppola as well. His daughter, Gia Coppola, I think her name is. Sophia Coppola. She's got heaps of, like, she's a great director. The Coppola family's massive or whatever. And, you know, they're all quite talented. I've never seen him as a good director, though. Everything I've seen him do, I'm like, there's an idea here. And I've always found it interesting how, like, I don't think he's a great director, but, you know, he's made what's considered one of the best movies of all time. And I'm like, you know, he did an okay job here. I like this movie, particularly the opening at the party.
Sandra, you could say if you hate a movie.
I don't hate the movie at all.
You're trying to skirt around it, but you hated this movie.
I was just kind of bored and, like, understimulated. And not like in I need TikTok brain sort of way.
I was gonna say, if this had fucking Subway Surfer underneath it, you would have been on top of it.
I'd be on board. Not really, though, because, like, you know, I love long movies and stuff like that. I like movies like this, but I think I was just expecting it to be better. I think it's pretty much all it comes down to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But, is there anything else non-spoilery to say here? The soundtrack. How good's that one song? I love that one song.
Oh, yeah. Look, I was down for it. Every time it played, I was like, oh, shit's going down, you know. To be fair, I think that was also a weakness of, what was it? What was that love movie we watched?
Like recently?
That's Amore, or whatever it is.
That's Amore. Oh, Moonstruck on Patreon.
Moonstruck, yes. I also really love that movie specifically for the soundtrack. I don't know, Sicily, they just come out with bangers. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sicily is where it's at.
I agree.
I even had lasagna last night.
I did too. So
Whoa!
I was watching this, and like halfway through it, I was like, "This isn't making me feel that much." But what it is making me feel is that I want lasagna, and then I ordered lasagna, and it was really good.
There's got to be a connection here. Something. The music from Sicily has to have some sort of
something to do with the.
They put hypnotic fucking sub messaging in it. I'm sure of it. You know,
no,
it's all a conspiracy. Big lasagna's gonna get you.
That's right. That's right. Do you think this movie is too long? I think it could have been shorter, but I don't know. I think it's just the opening takes a while. But
yeah, I think it's just the opening, and I think that's where it sort of failed you, because the opening is where you've got to get a grip with the characters.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a grip with the characters in the opening, then you might be screwed for the rest of the film.
I don't know. I liked Al Pacino in the opening. I really liked his character throughout pretty much the whole movie until about halfway through, where I went, I don't really know what you're thinking anymore. Like, I felt like I kind of was in his head for like the first half of the movie, and then when things start to turn near the second half, while I'm on board with most of it as a plot point, I think the movie ends really well, particularly with his character, but like I didn't like, he just kind of changed.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
the thing. It's an arc for me. For me, I could tell you where, like, the changes were happening. You could see them in real time. Like, in this movie, like, I don't know. For me, I watched him change as a person, and that was crazy to me.
Okay.
But it was, like, at every step I saw, and, like, I saw the final straw happen, and I gasped. I was like, oh, shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I could see the arc happening, and I was the slippery slope, Sandro.
That's true. I just kind of wish that, you know, like, comparing it to Dune, as you mentioned, I think that those two movies do a great job at showing Paul's slip, as you said. Like, you know, he very quickly falls into the God Emperor. He's not the God Emperor, but you know what I mean. He quickly becomes that sort of like dictator figurehead. But like, you can tell that he also doesn't really want it. Whereas in this one, I feel like Al Pacino slips towards, you know, where he ends up, but it doesn't really feel like he's ever fighting it, really. And there's no, I don't know, I just don't get the depth, really. Yeah.
Well, we could discuss about it, but like it's a bit spoilery. But I
that's true.
Would almost disagree. I would disagree in a way, because I think it's what happens to him in the film that causes most of it. It's not that he's fighting it. It's like he didn't want it, but he has to.
Yeah, it just kind of happens for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's just a consecutive chain of events that cause him. He's like, I don't want to, but I have to.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of logic that just causes this slope, and it's really interesting in that aspect, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's
Going
true.
from where he started in this film to where he ended in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I get that for sure. I'm looking at the rest of the cast as well. There's a lot of really good people in here. I really liked Robert Duvall as the concierge or whatever he is.
Oh,
Kind of like the helper guy who's not related to the
lawyer?
Maybe? Yeah, the lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the lawyer.
I liked him a lot. I really enjoyed his character.
Yeah. I thought he was quite good. I liked when, you know, someone says something he doesn't like and there's this whole situation with him.
Yeah.
I like that whole, it's like, I can help, you know.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. I liked
I liked a lot of the characters in this film. I liked John Cazale, I think his name is. The guy who gets sent off to run a casino.
Oh, Fredo. Yeah. He's really interesting. Like, that's another character who I'm like, I want to read the book just to know what's going on with him, really.
Yeah. Al Letterettery.
Al Lettery. Oh, the guy,
Al Lettery. the
Solozo.
like bad guy.
Yeah. He's really good as well. I like his performance.
I thought he was great, especially for the first half of the film.
Yeah.
I was like, I was on board.
I like Diane Keaton, who's Kay, Al Pacino's girlfriend. She's good. I'm interested to see where that goes in other movies.
Yeah, that's interesting. especially after the ending, right?
Yeah. I think the cast here is pretty good. I don't think that Francis Ford Coppola is the best, like, actor-director. I think he's a pretty good, like, location director and vibe director, but he doesn't always get the best performances out of his cast, but, you know, he got some good ones here.
Yeah. I talked about Lenny Montana last week when I baited you into picking this film. I picked him as the actor, but I thought he was quite good.
I like him in a lot of things. Yeah, he's always good.
Because he's just a big wrestler dude.
Yeah.
So he's put in the like big. He's a big guy, right?
Yes.
He's a bit of an Andre the Giant sort of character.
Oh, definitely.
And I thought he was really good. Like,
I like him as well. His character's name is Luca Brasi, and whenever they said that, there's an Australian band called Luca Brasi who I used to have to play a lot when I worked on radio. So whenever he was like introduced, I was like, "Wait, the Australian band?" It was just very funny every time. I got a good laugh out of myself, me making myself laugh.
Oh, absolutely.
Watching The Godfather.
I liked the guy at the start of the film. I think his name's Salvatore Corsito. The Undertaker.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Again, it's just one of those ties, and it's a good book. It's a good movie. It reminds me of Dune in that way, where there's
for sure.
It's another shotgun on the mantelpiece, you know.
Yeah.
It's all a big puzzle, and it comes together quite well. That aspect.
That's very true. One other thing that I really liked about this movie, Zach, was how authentically, like, Italian it felt as well. I liked that. I really, because Francis Ford Coppola is, I think he's a second-generation American-Italian. Obviously, the guy who wrote the book his name is Mario, so of course he's fucking,
It doesn't get more Italian than that, right?
And, I mean, most of the cast is. I think Al Pacino, at least, is. I don't know if Marlon Brando is Italian, but,
Yeah, you could tell by the way I butchered the pronunciation of everyone's names that it was a very authentic. I really like I forgot to mention him, but Abe Vigoda. He doesn't get much screen time in this movie, but like in a lot of other stuff he's done, he's really good. I like him a lot.
Oh, he was him. That was a character who I'm like, kind of similar to a character that was left out really of the Dune books as well. I'm like, this is a guy who would be really interesting in the book, I think.
Yeah. Like the Doctor.
Yeah, exactly, the Doctor.
Movies.
Yeah, exactly. Dr. Yui, yes. So yeah. It's very interesting that we're comparing this to Dune a lot. I didn't really expect that, but you're right. It is very Dune-esque. And just like Dune,
yeah,
I think we have to watch part 2 to really get the full picture here as well.
Absolutely. So I can't wait for you to have put part 2 as an option that I can pick this week so we can watch another long feature-length movie that you desperately want to do. Yeah, I can't wait for me to pick that.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You would like if I did that. But Zach, here's the thing.
Yeah, what?
The Godfather Part 2 is 3 hours and 20 minutes, so I have not put it as an option for next week.
What?
But we will do it at some point. But I need a break. Come on, man.
Unbelievable.
We need all of Rebel Moon.
I can't wait to watch a 20-minute short that you've put on as an option.
That's a very funny idea, actually. I should do that.
I mean, you can. There's nothing stopping you, Sandro.
I pick Frankenweenie, the Tim Burton short.
That would be pretty great.
That would be pretty funny. I don't think there's much else to really mention.
Oh, that gives me an idea. I know what I'm gonna do.
Oh no.
You're gonna hate it. Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I can't wait. Giving Zach ideas. Oh, we should do a bonus battle soon as well. I'm going to Sydney soon, so we'll be on break during like mid-April, but I think we should do a bonus battle soon. Just 3.
It's very funny. You telling me we should do a bonus battle right after my idea for what I should do next week, because a bonus battle would kill you. It would end you. You would never want to do any podcasts ever again after that. It would be very funny, though.
I did say we do bonus battles after the break. After a little, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's rate this one. An oldie or a goodie? Zach, are you going to give this an oldie or a goodie?
Sandro, I'm going to give this an oldie and a goodie. Because it's an oldie and a goodie.
Because it is an old movie.
Yeah. I think Ben would approve of this one. You know, like this is an oldie and a goodie, but also it's just. I think I definitely got into it by the end. I think I was definitely fully on board.
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in all the characters and seeing what would happen. It was very, in that aspect, it was Game of Thronesy, where I was biting my nails, like who's gonna, like what's gonna happen, right?
You were like, all the interpersonal conflict, oh my goodness.
Yeah, spoiler alert, some people die in this film.
What? In The Godfather?
Yeah. And I was biting my nails, being like, "Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, who's gonna die," right?
Yeah.
Like it was terrifying
For sure.
and nail biting in that aspect. And I personally really enjoyed. I like these sort of crime film sort of thing, especially with a main character like Al Pacino, a reluctant sort of
a reluctant gangster.
Yeah. He's one of the good ones, Sandro.
Al Pacino? The actor or the character?
The character.
I mean, maybe, I guess.
Again, also a maybe. Yeah, look, But, yeah, I liked his perspective from it. It was good.
For sure. And I just like watching Al Pacino and things. I just really like him as an actor. I think he's great, so...
Yeah.
I'll watch him. Again, The Irishman he's so good in that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that as a... I'm not going to watch that 4-hour-long movie again. Absolutely not.
You say, oh, I'm not going to put the fucking Godfather Part 2 because it's 3 hours. Let me put a 4-hour film instead.
I was considering that. I was like, what are movies like The Godfather that I could put in that aren't Godfather Part 2? And I was like, Once Upon a Time in America? Oh, that's 4 hours long. The Irishman? Oh, that's 4 hours long.
Yeah, I wonder if we do, like, 2-parter episodes for some, like, big films.
We could do
like,
that.
We've never done that before, but I think that would be interesting.
I mean, we kind of did for Rebel Moon. That was 2 separate movies,
true.
but also it was one movie.
Yeah. In the end. I think that would be an interesting to explore. If we ever pick another, like, long-form film, like... this one or like Metropolis or whatever, I think we do those as a 2-parter to give us enough time to watch it.
We could do that. I don't know. I don't really like watching movies in 2 parts though. I like watching them all the way through mostly. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
I say we watch the whole thing and then we do it as 2 parts so we have some time in between episodes.
Yeah, I getcha. For
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I understand what you mean. Okay, you're gonna give this a goodie, obviously. I think this movie is good.
Yeah.
But I do, and this is a bit of a technicality, and it feels bad to do this, but I do think it's an oldie because this movie is quite old, and the ways that it is old, for example, there are better gangster movies that came after this, lean it towards an oldie, and I don't...
Whoa, you can't! You cannot give The Godfather an oldie.
I think I will, purely for the YouTube comments. I'm going to give The Godfather an oldie.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even think there are better gangster movies. I think you're full of shit.
There's so many better gangster movies.
No, you're dumb, and I hate you now. I'm gonna write angry comments on our YouTube now.
We got a really nice comment on our... we got some fucking awful comments on the Silence of the Lambs episode, but we got a really, really nice one as well, being like, I love the podcast, I'm subscribing. And I was like, that's nice.
Nice.
How nice is that? Aside from all the fucking transphobes who hit up that episode, fuck them.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was about to say, what did we... we were very positive about that movie that has a very positive rating. Like, what do people anyway? Oh,
yeah.
Right, yeah.
That part of that movie, yeah. But yeah, I think it's like I think it's a fairly good movie. I think that, you know, it's got some good stuff in it. It's obviously incredibly influential, and you cannot deny that. I'm glad that I watched it, but I do think that it is a bit slow and a bit boring, and I also didn't really care. So I'm gonna give it an oldie.
That's brutal. I think I disagree.
That's fair.
I think I just have to disagree with you because I really got into it and I really did enjoy this movie, like, quite a lot.
I think as well, just I can't take Marlon Brando's accent seriously because he's got cotton balls in his mouth.
I think you're dumb and should just extend your disbelief that someone can have a weird accent, Sandro.
Also, he's got a weird underbite. He just looks, I don't know. I just don't know if I like him in this. But it's iconic, though, so it's great.
If you had read the book, Sandro, you would have known that because he's gotten many fights when he was younger. He was a bit more like Sonny, you know? He was angry.
Well, that is the plot of part 2. Like, half of it is you see him growing up. So, you know.
Yeah. So you're dumb, you're bad, your opinion's bad, and you're an oldie. How about that?
Wow. And I think you read that this was a good movie, and therefore you think it's a good. I don't think that at all.
That's true.
But
that's a fact.
What I'm going to say.
I get all my influence from specifically Rotten Tomatoes, their scores. If it says it, but only the audience.
Yeah.
If the audience says it's good, then it's a good movie. And then if the audience says,
oh, that's why you enjoyed Rebel Moon. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, boy, did I love Rebel Moon. One of my favorite films that we've watched.
Definitely. All right, let's do some taglines. I'm going to do taglines. Here we go, taglines.
Oh, I'm excited.
You got to give them an offer you can't refuse or an offer you can refuse. That's the rating system.
That's a great way of doing it. All right.
An offer you can't refuse.
That's the first tagline.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. I mean, it's an iconic line.
Yeah.
It's permeated society for forever now that it's come out. So, it's an offer I can't refuse. It's literally an offer I can't refuse. So I guess I accept this offer.
Make him an offer he cannot refuse.
Is that the second
That's the second
tagline?
tagline.
Is it just Jesus fucking Christ?
Yeah, that's the second
This is a
tagline.
disaster. All right. I accept this offer as well, I guess.
All right.
Wait. What was the difference between the first one
The
and the
first
second
one is just a quote, so an offer that you, the audience, can't refuse. And then the second one is a quote.
Yeah, okay. I like the first one more because it's directed at you.
Yes.
Whereas the second one's just a quote.
I agree with that. And then the third and final one is,
The Godfather is now a movie.
Yeah. I can refuse that one. But,
yep.
it would have made more sense at the time when you think about The Godfather as a book. And if you've read the book, then it would be a good tagline because you're like, oh, hey, I liked that book. Let me go see that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, that feature-length film that I go to the cinema to watch. I think this would have been a great cinema experience.
Watching this in a movie, yeah.
I think, Sandro, if you had a bucket of popcorn, a partner at your hip, sitting down, watching a movie with your pals in the back rows, you know, like just living in the moment, Sandro, you would have enjoyed this. Instead of having to be on your phone,
that's not
watching your TikTok.
I was watching my TikTok. I don't think that's true because I wouldn't have been able to watch this without subtitles. So I think I would have had a worse experience in the theater.
Here's the thing, I disabled subtitles. Boom.
What?
Yep.
How the fuck did you know what was going on?
Because you don't need to know what's going on half the time. You can get the vibes, Sandro.
You got the vibes.
I didn't know what the fuck they were saying in Italian. Okay, but some of the subtitles were hard-coded in the Italian.
That's true, that's true.
Like,
yes.
So, like, but it only told you the bits you need to know, Sandro. The other bits,
I don't know.
It was just...
I lose track of character names. Like, that's what would happen with me, is I'd be like, wait, who are they talking about?
I lose track of character names either way, Sandro. I had to rewind the film at some point because I wasn't sure who died in a scene, right? But, like... it didn't matter because I got the gist. I got the vibe.
Oh, okay.
Like...
Wait, hang on a second. This is a reverse of when we do art movies. You think it's good because you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on in any of the movies we watch, Sandra. That's my secret. I didn't understand fucking shit.
Wow.
But if it's got good vibes, then I'm with it, you know?
You're here
this
for the
had
vibe.
positive vibes. It was sending good vibes to all my gangster friends.
Amazing.
Fucking hell. No, but that's true. I didn't have subtitles for this. And then they started talking Italian. But I was like, you know what? I get the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when the two gangsters are talking in the restaurant.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't think you're
but
meant
I got
to.
the vibe.
I had subtitles and there were sections that weren't subtitled that were in Italian, and then some that were as well. So I think you're like not meant to know what all of it is.
Right? Like, that's sort of the vibe. You could see, because you're not meant to be paying attention to what they're talking about. You're meant to be looking at Al Pacino.
Exactly.
And how nervous he is.
Yeah.
And how, like jittery he is, you know?
That whole sequence I thought was very good. But anyway, we'll get into that after this ad break. Well, shove adamantium into my bones and call me Weapon X, listener, because this is another ad with me, Sally McSeller. And I'm very excited because this month over on patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod, Sandro and Zach have teamed up to start a brand new series reviewing every single X-Men movie that ever existed. That's why I did the Weapon X intro. Here's a clip from the first episode.
Sandra, who's your favorite mutant? What's your favorite mutant out there? What's one of your favorite mutants?
I mean, technically, Spider-Man did audition for the X-Men at one point. There was a comic book series when he joined the X-Men for a couple missions. He was also a member of the Fantastic Four for some reason. That happened in the 60s. But him being an X-Men doesn't really make sense. He was kicked out at some point, I'm pretty sure. He was there for a little bit.
Because they were like, wait a minute, you just got bitten by a spider. Get the fuck.
He's not a mutant. But by de facto, yeah, he is my favorite mutant for sure. Yeah,
Spider-Man is your
Spider-Man.
favorite mutant.
Well, that sure sounds like a lot of fun. Traveling back to 2000 for a very different time of superhero movies over at patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod, where you can get the bonus episode of X-Men right now, as well as a bunch of other bonus episodes and a bunch of ad-free content as well. Also, early, too. You get main episodes early without ads, and you get bonus content like that episode right there, the X-Men one. You got a bunch of other series you can check out, or just keep following the boys as they review every single X-Men movie. I'm sure all of them are going to be great. I'm sure there's not going to be a bad one amongst them. No siree. Yeehaw! Wow, what a great ad break. Zach, it's time to talk about spoilers. Spoiler warning, spoiler warning. The Godfather is a movie, and Marlon Brando has cotton balls in his mouth. That's the spoilers.
Whoa! Spoiler! I love that ad break, though. Shout outs to that ad break.
That was a good ad break. I believe that was the promo to the X-Men episode. Wow!
Whoa!
Yeah, pretty cool.
I did like some mutants.
Yeah,
Do you like
mutant
some
time.
superpowers?
Unless you're watching this on Patreon, in which case there was no ad break.
Yeah, that's definitely a critique for this movie. There was zero superpowers. There was no end of credit scene. I don't know how this links to the overarching movies, but we'll see how it goes.
Which overarching movies?
The Godfather Part 2 and the Godfather Part 3.
Well, you see, Zach, so the movie ends, but in...
The GPU, as it were. The GPU? Godfather, P. What does P stand for in that? Because I said GPU instead of
Pizza
GCU.
Universe. I don't know. But Zach, no. Here's how it connects. So this movie ends, right? And then the next one begins. That's how they connect.
Whoa.
Pretty deep, hey? Pretty deep.
I don't understand how that works. I'm going to need at least a 10-episode series on Disney Plus to explain how these movies are connected.
No, definitely. Oh, I wonder if they're going to The Sopranos, better than The Godfather. I haven't seen it. Can't say.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking Bad, better than The Godfather. That's not really the same thing at all, though.
Well, and you could argue there's quite a lot of similarities, actually.
Kinda.
It's from a different angle, obviously, but it's still, it's a crime.
Yeah.
There's crime happening.
There's crime happening.
There's criminals.
Because, we're in the spoiler section. A big part of The Godfather is the fact that there is a new narcotics a ring? Not really, but they're
Trade.
Trade. A new narcotics trade in New York City, and that's a big plot point.
Breaking Bad is literally the opposite, end of the spectrum, where they are the breaking drug trade into the system of criminals, whereas this is the resistance of these drug trades.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we don't really have to go through the plot of this, but we'll go through, I guess, sections, definitely. Let's start off with the daughter's wedding section, which was filmed like a documentary.
Sandro, you come to my daughter's wedding. Yeah.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
And also, like, he doesn't entirely say that either, though. He says, you come on the day of my daughter's wedding and ask me for money, was the whole quote, which everyone misquotes. Once again, everyone misquotes that one.
It isn't misquoted, but it is a very famous start to this film, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, the opening of this movie is, I don't like how this movie does, it's got a lot of assault in it, purely used as a narrative device, and the movie opens with that as well. It's got, like, this dad describing what's happening to his daughter or something, and I was like, classic Francis Ford Coppola chucking this in there, and it's just men talking about it. But
it is a very man-focused film, but I think that is deliberate.
Yeah,
and I think I think you bring up a good point though, that it does sort of put women to a side. It literally at one point is like women and children can be careless, but men have to be on, on guard at all time, right? Like, so it is very dismissive of women.
Yeah, and the movie doesn't, like, you can have a movie that says that, but the point is that that's not right, But this movie never really addresses that either. And then there's also all of the stuff with the sister as well. Felt very exploitation-y. There's that one long scene that I was like, this is showing us a lot, and I don't know if we need to see this for the point to be made.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would say it made me pretty fucking furious with the guy.
No, me too. I wanted him dead immediately.
Yeah, right? Like, so it was pretty cathartic to see him die later, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, it had a point. There was a point to it all. I'd say I didn't feel it as bad because, as I said, it's like I know because he's doing this, there will be consequences, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's true.
And like the ending of this film, it's like it ties into that as well.
That's true.
But like it does avoid showing it you earlier. Like it's just implied in this whole thing where she's like begging Sony not to
kill the husband. Yeah.
Kill her husband. Yeah.
For sure.
And so it was very cathartic when someone actually did finally kill the fucking deadbeat husband.
Yes.
Because, like, I know, lady, you're in love with him, but holy shit, what a piece of shit.
No, for sure.
Also, what a fucking idiot. Sorry. This is obviously, it's a fictional character. I shouldn't get mad at a dumb character because of their dumb decisions.
But the character of Carlo fucking is so annoying. He's so annoying.
He's such a piece of shit. I mean, you marry someone into a fucking, family.
Crime family,
a crime family.
Not only just a crime family, but like they are the underdogs, I feel like, of all of the crime families, but they're a very prevalent, very powerful crime family still, to say the least.
Yeah. One of the most prevalent, I would say, and one of the most, family-focused ones as well.
Exactly.
And you're gonna be a piece of shit to your wife? Like, what?
Well, I think the point is quite similar to Jared Leto in our last movie, Panic Room. He just really wanted to be a gangster. And, you can tell that from, the way that he's dressed as well. He just has the wrong idea of what he's trying to do, and he married into this family to be a gangster, is, the vibes that I get from him.
Yeah. The actor who plays him, who's the actor?
Gianna Russo, I think, is the guy's name. I haven't seen him in anything else, I don't think.
Yeah, well, he was quite good in this one.
Yeah, I liked him in this. I quite like the actor that does play the sister as well, and she's much more prevalent in part 2. She's one of the bigger characters in part 2 as well, which is good.
Yeah, because obviously this movie leads into, I mean, we're in spoilers, but, her husband gets killed by her brother.
Yes, exactly.
So I was interested to see that.
I agree.
Is that Talia Shire?
Talia Shire, yeah. But she is also a Coppola. She is a Coppola, and she's Jason Schwartzman's dad, which is why Jason Schwartzman is a Coppola as well. He's from, heaps of Wes Anderson stuff and fucking Spider-Man and Hunger Games and shit. Anyway, he's great. But, yeah.
Yeah, she was really good.
I agree.
She and Diana Keaton.
Diane Keaton's always good in everything. I always like her and stuff. I hope that she's got more to do in part 2 because she doesn't have a whole lot to do here.
No, she's at the like start and at the very end. Although the end though was quite good. Like
I liked the end. The problem with her storyline is that she's sidelined for so long in this weird side quest that I don't think I appreciated the fact that they shot on location in Sicily. However, I don't think that sequence needed to happen.
No, but Sandro, that's the whole point. That was I was alluding to earlier about his whole like arc of becoming the fucking Don, right?
Yeah.
Is her death, right?
I mean, yeah, but why did he marry her in the first place, though?
Because
like,
he
never really, like, I don't know. I just feel like he goes away and then he marries someone. And I'm like, but we just saw you in love with Diane Keaton for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like a book moment.
Yeah.
Is like, this would have made more sense in the book. I think there's definitely a lot skipped over here. But the point being that, like, he fell in love with someone else. He got together with someone else. And, like, I think in my head, when he came back and when he met her again, he would have been like, oh, sorry, I've moved on, right?
Yes.
But because she died, he had to go back and, like, settle.
I guess.
But it follows his arc, and we need to get into his arc, because I think it's because of his arc that he becomes the man he is at the end of this film, right?
I agree.
A Don, right? Like,
He becomes the Don Corleone.
Yeah. And it's sinister, and it's like, it's not good, but it was like, it's necessary for the family, you know?
For sure, yeah.
And it's like, it molds him as a person.
Yeah.
And like, you see that live. Because at the start of this film, we see him coming late to the wedding because he was in a war, you know? He was a war hero.
He's a war hero, and like, he doesn't want to talk to his dad either. He doesn't talk to Marlon Brando until Marlon Brando's in hospital. Like, they never, at least that's my memory, they don't have a scene together until the hospital, I think.
Well, no, because they do meet at the wedding for the photo and all that sort of thing.
Oh, true, that's true, actually, yeah.
But more to the point, it's not that he doesn't want to talk to his father, it's he doesn't want to get involved with the family business.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Which is completely based and fair of him, I think.
Yeah, what do you mean, Sandro? You don't want to be involved with the family business?
Family? Yeah, and he's so reluctant, but then when his dad is shot, spoilers, in what is such a kind of funny scene, I just like him going up and buying oranges. I find it very funny, and the acting is just like, he's just like improvising, which makes it seem like, which makes what happens shocking, because he's
yes.
It feels like he's improvising the oranges. It felt like Marlon Brando just wanted oranges, and he was like, I'm one of the best actors ever, or at least I think I am, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some oranges. Hey, I'm in character getting oranges. And then he gets shot, and then you're like, oh, this random scene that felt like it was improv and they just left it in is actually a very important moment.
Well, that's the thing. That's when shit hits the fan. And it's really interesting in that aspect, because it felt, like, it was unexpected. You weren't expecting it. And you see, I think it's John Cazale, Fredo. Fredo over here. He's like, he's meant to be on watch, and he wasn't ready for it either. And he's like, oh shit, he's freaking out.
Yeah, and I think like that really adds to Fredo's character, where he's very like, he just doesn't, he's not good.
No, he's not.
He's not good.
He's not built to be a gangster.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
He's built for something different. He's not the person who's being brought up to be the Don, you know? He's kind of there, and he's helping out the best he can.
Yes.
But he's not really built for this sort of thing. And so they send him off to Las Vegas to help with the casinos and other things like that.
Yeah.
And he does quite well there, you know?
He does do well, yeah. He does really well there, no, for sure.
Yeah, and then it comes back.
It comes back in the end.
And why I bring up June and all these other things is this film's really, really good and very satisfying in its, like, loose ends. It's got a lot of loose ends. It throws out the ropes, and then you follow one of them, and you get to see where the other ones end up. And it's good in that way. I liked that aspect.
That's true. I like that as well, actually. I did quite like that. I thought, yeah, like all of the plot lines come to a head at some point, and it is quite satisfying. And I like that with Fredo. Whatever. We'll call him Fredo.
I like Fredo better because it reminds me of a chocolate frog in Australia.
I like that as well because I like how all of the sons aren't good at being a gangster, aside from Al Pacino, but he doesn't want to be a gangster. But the others are not very good at it. So,
but it's one of the things. It's like an ironic. Ironically, the forces of the universe, like,
yes,
have dictated that he will become the Don, even though he doesn't want to. But he's actually, of all the sons, he is the best choice for this role.
Yeah, for
as
sure.
we'll see. But I think also something that's not really emphasized, and I think is a big influence on his character specifically, is that he's coming from a war background.
That's true.
He is a soldier.
Yes.
He's a decorated soldier.
Yes.
And in that aspect, his actions make sense to me specifically in the whole, like, he doesn't want to be involved in other things, but then his father gets attacked. He has to start doing these things. So he doesn't go, oh, I don't want to be part of this. He goes, okay, I've got to do these things because those are the necessary things that I need to do.
Yes.
Right? Just like in war, there's a whole bunch of things that you don't want to do, but you need to, right?
Yeah.
And it's that influence which I think causes him to go into his arc of becoming the Don. Is his idea is that he doesn't want to do these, but they're necessary.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily, but it's his influence from that sort of situation where he had to do things that he didn't want to. Has led him to do all these other things that he doesn't want to, and then slowly pushes his character towards these things.
Yeah, that is pretty. Yeah, that's some good points there for sure. And I like that scene where he's to not get revenge on the hit on his dad. I mean, it is to get revenge on the hit of his dad. He has to kill a police officer, a corrupt police officer, and then also the head of one of the crime families. And I love that whole sequence where they plan.
Yeah.
They plan it all.
Yeah.
Out so well. And I love the planning. I really enjoyed...
I was so nervous that the plan was going to go wrong.
For sure.
I was like, because by this point I was invested. Because we had seen him come in. We seen he's a fresh face. We seen he doesn't want any of this. You have these things, but then shit starts hitting the fan. Mm-hmm. You have his family, which have established, and it's like, oh, he has to kind of abandon his girlfriend, who he was pretty keen on. Mm-hmm. Because his dad is in hospital and he gets there, and the whole, like, his quick thinking saves his father's life, right? Is like, oh shit, there's no guards here. There's no one here to protect my dad. They're about to come and kill him. Mm-hmm. And so he calls up his brother and all that sort of thing. But, like, he just stands out the front. Like, some random dude comes in.
The baker.
The baker. And I'm a bit sad because I don't think he comes up ever again.
He doesn't come back, no.
And that's probably like another one of those characters is definitely like a Tom Bombadil sort of character.
Yes, for sure.
Now, I'm just assuming because I haven't read the book. And I'm assuming for a lot of this, but he feels like a character that would have had like in this page of the book, someone goes and buys bread from him and this, and they're very friendly. And then you continue on with the book, and then maybe later on they do it again. Like, and so he's this non-consequential character, but boom, in this scene, damn, he suddenly has to pretend to be a gangster with a gun.
Yes, for sure.
And so these gangsters come around to shoot the Don, and they see there's people outside. They weren't supposed to be any people, and they look like they have guns, so they back off.
Yeah, that was a pretty good sequence. I liked all of that.
And that character moment, I could see right there and then that Al Pacino was going to be the next Don. Right?
I saw it
because he's got the wits and the smart, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that's the thing is, like, I had a feeling that, like, once Marlon Brando shot, I was like, because I actually didn't know plot-wise that much about this. I just know, the key moments. And so I was like, I'm fairly certain that Al Pacino takes over in, like, the second or third movie, but I didn't know that it was in this one. And so, yeah, like, from that moment onwards, I was like, oh, yeah, I see where this is going. And I liked that.
Yeah.
And then after that, because he's killed the two guys, he's like, all right, I'm going to go hide out in Sicily. So he goes to Sicily, and
I did really like that scene in the restaurant specifically. I think it's
definitely.
I think it's definitely like the turning point for this character, because you see him go defend his dad, and then he gets beat up, and then he's like, okay, I gotta help my dad because of things. But like, he sits there for a moment, and he's like just considering. I don't know. I think he's considering the options of just letting them go. But then he makes the step forward, and I think that step is what really like pushes him towards what happens in the rest of the film.
Yeah,
because it's like, he takes them out, he runs off, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we see, him going to Sicily and like just hiding out. Like essentially, he has to abandon his old life.
Yes.
For a bit, at least. He could always come back, but for now, he has to abandon his old life.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I kind of feel like the movie would be better off if we just don't see him until he does return. And, like, he still tells us about what happened, but it's like, you know, from...
I disagree.
Him telling us rather than showing. I don't know, I just feel like it felt like a weird... I don't know, like, side quest is the best word that I can think of. It was just so...
I disagree. You're allowed to fall in love with something else. Obviously, it's very... it is a bit like a romance movie. You know, it's a very, you know, quadruple, like, which we have always steered away from because it's not our thing.
I mean, on the podcast, in real life, though, I watch all of them.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you love those Pikachu movies. So...
But yeah, no, I get what you mean. It is a little bit like that. I don't know.
But it's also the point being is that we have this arc so that we can see his new like love interest and all that thing. And the whole point, the end of that, like we have this thing. I like how he negotiates with the dad. He gets involved. He's trying to be friendly. He's starting this new life here.
Yeah.
While in the meantime, we see like his brothers and his brother-in-law, and them being pieces of shit, and then having to deal with things while he's gone. And then we come back to him, and it's like, oh, everything's good, and then boom, bang, wife is dead.
Yes.
New wife he just got, boom, that he loves, you know? And I think that's the final straw. That's the bit that breaks the camel's back, right? Because when he comes back after that, he is the Don character, right?
Yeah.
He is no longer... the man he used to be, because that's and it's that car bombing that got me to gasp. Like, no, I was like, oh shit.
That's fair. I didn't see that coming really at all. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming till the Don saw it coming as well. You know, till Al Pacino saw it coming, and like that guy running away. And you're like, oh shit. And he's like, oh shit. And then the car explodes. I went, oh fuck, you know?
And then he comes back as well. He comes back to America. And what I find is really interesting is that we don't see his, I'm fairly certain he says, I've been back for like a year.
Yeah.
As well. And we don't see that first year, which I find also very interesting. I like that though. I like all the time jumps. I think that's cool, but it's just very interesting how we don't see him come back. I mean, he probably also comes back because what the heck? Sonny died. The other son, who is the guy kind of in control.
Well, that is the reason he comes back, because Sonny dies. The gangs shoot him because he's the next. He was going to be the next Don. You know. And the rest of them treat Al Pacino like a kid, essentially, when he's part with them, until he does an assassination, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because Sonny's supposed to be the next Don, but he gets taken out. He actually gets betrayed by their brother-in-law, the piece of shit one.
Yes.
We find out later, sort of thing. But yeah, and if Sonny was still alive, I think Al Pacino still would have been not the Don. But with him gone, his arc is sort of complete in the fact that he needs to come back and take over.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's willing to take over because of the things that have happened to him over the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I like the line as well from Brando. It's the other classic when he sees that his son is dead, and he's like, look at how they massacred my boy. That was Sean Connery. That wasn't Brando, but...
Look at how they massacred my boy.
That was I laughed at that because I've obviously seen that or like heard that line before as well. But yeah, now Pacino's the head, and then he through it's like half an hour's roughly the end of the movie. He kills all the other all the other heads of the crime family. That was a cool moment.
Oh my god, the whole ending scene, that thing was awesome. That look. If you didn't like the rest of the film, Sandra, you had to have liked that scene.
The ending was pretty satisfying. I did like.
Yeah, with the music and the whole like he's at a baptism.
Yes.
Swearing to God while he's organized all these assassinations to go off at once.
Yep.
Like, it's a great scene. It's my favorite in this film, and it was very wow.
It's a good scene. And yeah, like he gets yes, he kills his brother-in-law, but technically someone else does. And so he's asked later as well, his sister's like, "Did you kill him?" And he's like, "No, I didn't kill him." And then his wife is like, "You gotta tell me if you killed him or not." And he's like, "I did not kill him." Or it's like, "By my hand, he didn't die," or something like that. And it's like, he's lying. Oh my god, that's the end of the movie. What the heck is this?
He goes full sinister. It's very, very sinister. Very, and yeah, I love the dynamics of him talking with his father. Them trying to like figure out how he's going to become the next Don because of course the power vacuum that happens, and of course all the henchmen who were treating Al Pacino like a kid earlier are now having to like work for him.
Yes.
It's like, were they going to do that? And through the like dealings and other things, it starts to work out in his favor. And it's like, it all sort of comes together at the end, which I liked a lot.
I agree. Okay, other plot points to mention. Oh, we haven't talked about the actor storyline. That's so.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of. I didn't mind that whole sequence. That was fun.
Yeah. I liked that a lot, especially with how it ended. Played Johnny Fontaine, played by Al Martino. He's quite good because he's like the godson.
Yes.
Of the old Don, and so he comes to the wedding. And he's like, I've got this acting gig, but I've been kicked off it, and it would like send my career into full gear.
Yeah, he's like the lead in a war movie, which is funny because he's essentially Elvis. That's what Elvis was doing. So.
Yeah. He is essentially the Elvis of this film.
Yeah.
And he can't get this role because he pissed off the director. I think by banging a chick?
Yes. It wasn't the director's... It's just like the director's protege or something who he was like, she's so young and innocent, and then, oh my god, he ruined her. And I was like, ew, classic...
Yeah, it is very gross.
Classic 70s movies. But yeah,
Well, I think he's played well because I feel like they were that gross back in the day, right?
That's very correct. And yeah, so he sends some not hitmen.
No. He sends the lawyer.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah, he sends the lawyer to negotiate with him. And he does this throughout the film. First, they offer the laurel wreath of friendship.
Yes.
And if you reject that, then you get the cold steel dagger that was behind it, right? Like
that's right. And it's like, like that's where we first get the line, I'll make him an offer that he can't refuse. And it's, it's an offer that he does refuse. But the reason why he can't refuse it is because something really bad will happen if you say no.
Yeah. Because he says no, and we see him, he shows the lawyer his, like, prize stallion.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. And then we see him, like, ranting at the guy, telling him, hey, I'm not going to do this because your stupid actor friend, he fucked my girl, so I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see next morning he's lying in bed. Oh, what's that? He's got a little little blood on his shoulder. Oh no, there's a little blood on the sheets. And then he peels back the sheets and there's more blood. And there's more blood. And he's coated in blood.
That's right.
And then you open it up and there's a horse head in his bed.
So silly. So silly.
How did the horse head get there without him waking up? It's crazy.
It's so wild.
Yeah, and it's like, well, okay, he's gonna bend the knee.
He gives him the roll. And it's like, there's so much blood in there. Like, surely they probably got a bucket of blood and then poured it in the sheets as well. There's like too much blood just to come out of this head.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But I like it because it makes you think. It's like, how powerful does a man have to be to orchestrate this sort of
exactly
thing, right? Like they would have had to have drugged him, right?
Yeah,
that's the only way you manage to get all this done without him waking up.
That's right. Okay, what else happens in this movie? Oh, they all the stuff with Luca Brasi is cool. I like how they pretend that because they kill him, the bad guys kill him because he's trying to pretend to be one of the, I guess, bad guys. It's kind of not the right term, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, the Don sends him in to be a mole for him, essentially. But they figure it out.
They figure it out and they kill him, and then they pretend that he's alive for a bit, but then they send his bulletproof vest back to the Don with a fish in it, and we get the line, it's to show us that he sleeps with the fishies. But the line is, it means Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishies. Again, everyone's misquoting it. Once again, another misquoted line. Unless that line is from the second one. Like, the actual line that everyone quotes is from part 2. Maybe. Who knows? But
oh, yeah. No, I think people just misquote it. I think it's one of those things, like, Luke, I am your father. Or something like that, where it's an older movie, but it's so famous and it's said so much that no one questions it, and it's just sort of morphed.
Yeah, that's true.
Into the ethos till it becomes the more popular version of the line. It's very interesting.
What else spoilery is there to talk about? Oh, we should probably talk about Marlon Brando's death as well. So he gets shot, but he's fine. He comes back. He's gonna retire.
Yeah, he slowly recovers.
Yeah, he kind of retires a bit, but he's like really what's the word? Paranoid about everyone trying to kill his son. So he's like wanting his son and stuff, which is all very fair. Like, he's retired, but he's still involved. And then he's playing with his grandson in a field of tomatoes. And I liked when the movie stopped for a minute and it taught us how to make bolognese. That was funny. I liked that.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
But he's in the field of tomatoes and he's having too much fun that he dies. Oh my god. He has a heart attack and he dies. And it's just a scene that as soon as it started, I was like, he's gonna die.
Yeah. I thought it was a good death scene because then it, of course, leads into the funeral and the guy, because it just happens after, like, for us, it just happens after the Don tells him, okay, the first one who propositions to meet up with this guy who's going to get you killed, he is the traitor, so you need to make sure that you deal with him.
Yeah, definitely.
And all these sort of things. And that's like the last thing he says that we see to Al Pacino. But yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
To the new Don.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I think that's most of the art. Oh yeah, we see Al Matoni, Johnny Fontaine, later on at the casino.
Yes.
When the new Don now has to come in and he's muscling out the previous casino owners.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're like, we're coming in, we're going to buy you out, we're going to take over here.
Yeah.
And of course, the old casino owners are pissed off. He's like, after all I've done for you, this sort of thing, blah, 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 blah. And he responds with, we set you up, right? Like, you wouldn't be here if we hadn't,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, of course, he goes and gets that guy killed anyway. And, like, I liked the talk with his brother, where his brother's like, you can't come in here and talk to him like that. And he's like, don't ever side against the family ever again. And it was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then we see the rest of the film pan out, but it's like, it's interesting in that way. Him displaying his authority.
Yeah, I wonder if he does come back in part 2, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does in part 2. I'm interested in that.
I don't think he's going to do too much. I think
probably not.
The things that's happened has already happened here, where he's come in, he's tried to buy them, and well, he made him an offer he can't refuse.
That's right.
And he refused it, so he dies,
So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Yeah, some good surprises here and there. I think as well, all of the deaths in this movie felt like they carried a bit of weight, which I liked. They were at least surprising, or they were like, oof, you know what I mean? So that was all good.
Like it had to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be done to keep the family afloat.
But the best one is definitely Al Pacino in the restaurant. I just like how he's told to drop the gun, but he just throws it. It's very funny.
Yeah. Like, well, he's told to drop it immediately, but he doesn't even drop it immediately.
Yeah.
He like starts walking and then he drops it.
Exactly.
I thought that was quite good because it's like, yeah, even after being told 100 times, he still didn't quite do it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Hi everybody, my name's Jess.
And my name's Ellen.
And we're from Murder in the Land of Oz, an Australian true crime podcast. We've covered such notorious crimes as Alison Baden-Clay,
Backpacker Murders,
Anita Cobby,
and Azaria Chamberlain,
and many other crimes featured around Australia. You can find us on any podcaster app, such as Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or any other place that you get your podcast from. You do you, dog.
You just make the right choice for you. We are witty and charming, and we're a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
According to Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much, guys. We hope you join us on our trip around Australia. Bye.
That's Not Canon Productions podcast.
All right, Sanjo. Now it's time for raving reviews.
Oh, yes.
This is the part of the show where I go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
And I grab the reviews, not from the critics, not from for the mainstream. I go to the family. The family of reviewers. The audience reviews.
Yes.
Where you can sniff out the lifeblood of this city. The lifeblood, which is the people. Because that's where it is at.
Okay, yes, yep, sure.
And from the family, that's where you can really learn the heart of a film.
Sure, yes.
So, you've got to guess the score.
Okay.
Between 0.5 and 5.
Ooh, yes.
I'm going to tell you the review. Yeah, you've done this a million times. I don't know why you're so excited for this part.
I'm sure there's a lot of new listeners, though, so it's good to explain.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There's a lot of new people. Yeah, it is a famous movie. That would make sense.
Yeah. And this movie has 97% from the critics, 98% from the audience. So this is going to be a big one.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I've written one of these reviews, so you also have to guess which one of those is my review.
Okay, I reckon I can do that.
My protege. This is a test, you know. After this, if you get them right, you get to become the new Don.
Oh, that means on Godfather Part 2, if we ever do it, I'll do the reviews.
Yeah, that's true. You'll be the Don. Yeah,
I'll have to go to Rotten Tomatoes.
But only if you get these right.
I'm not going to, so...
Yeah, that's true. Well, you never know. Because the first review comes from Paul Atreides.
No.
He's just named Paul, but I added the Atreides.
Oh, right, okay. That makes more sense, actually. Yes.
He says, simply the GOAT! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark,
more.
Exclamation mark,
more.
exclamation mark,
yes.
exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark,
yep.
exclamation mark.
Okay, that's a lot of them. Is there any more?
Yep. Nope, that was it. I read out all of them.
That would be 5 out of 5, surely.
You think simply the GOAT being all capitalized with all those exclamation marks?
Well, that means that it's the greatest of all time, and if you don't give it 5 out of 5, you can't call it that. You can't.
It's 5 out of 5.
Yes, good. Okay,
of course.
good.
Yeah,
good.
It had to be. It ought to be.
Yeah.
But Sean says, and he might say something, he says, great. but one complaint is that it insists upon itself.
Good stuff. That's gotta be... Oh, it's a joke, though, so it has to be 5, right? But it is a joke.
Could be 4 out of 5. Could be 4.5.
It could bring it down to
5
4.
out of 5.
I'm gonna say 5, though, because the insists upon itself thing is a joke, so it has to be. It has to be.
It's 5 out of 5.
Good. Okay, good.
Hey, you're doing well. Maybe you're the new Don.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Harry says, it insists upon itself.
Oh, okay. I see what we're doing here. Well, you wouldn't put 2 5 out of 5s with the same joke in a row, so that's either going to be negative or a 4. The rating's so high that I'm going to go 4. I don't think it's a negative.
You were so close, Sandro. It's 3.5. You were right.
Damn.
You were on the right track. You took my teachings to heart.
That's right.
And I appreciate you, but you were wrong. That's all right. I'm going to count this one. This is okay. You get a pass because your logic was sound.
Okay, sure.
You were just a little off.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert says,
Yep.
Want proof that nothing can please everyone? This applies to you, Sandra. There are actually people who don't like this movie. That's you, Sandra. For the rest of us, The Godfather is about as close to perfect as they come.
Look, I don't hate this movie. I just think it could have been better. I don't know.
Yeah. And well, you're a hater.
Okay.
And you're a piece of shit. And fuck
wow.
you.
What a jump that is.
Yeah.
That's going to be 5 out of 5 once again, surely.
That is 5 out of 5.
Okay. But I have gotten one wrong, though, so I can't do rating reviews of between 5 2.
Well, let's see. No, because we've got the last one to do, Sandra. Last one to do. I'll judge it by this one. Maria says, it insists on being a great movie.
Oh, I like that one. That's got to be a 5 out of 5 as well, surely.
That's a 5 out of 5. And you know what, Sandra? If you can guess my review, I'll let you do a Rotten Reviews. Why not? Unless you don't want to, which is fine.
Yours is the first insists upon itself one, I'm going to say. The first one that was 5 out of 5. Not the 3 out of the 3.5 one.
You were so close, my dear boy. But you see, I was the last one that said it insists upon itself.
You were the last one that did the joke.
I would say it insists upon being a great movie.
Yes, because it's more clever than just doing the jokes.
Yeah,
so obviously,
of course.
that's your review.
But I threw you off last week by just doing the really dumb review that made no fucking sense.
That's true, you did, yes.
I really, you see, it's all planned. It's all part of my master plan.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I guess I'll have to be doing the Rotten Reviews next time.
All right, looks like you're doing it. Well, that's a shame, but make sure that you do subscribe so that whenever we do another Godfather, if we do...
Hit that bell button.
Yeah, hit the bell, hit subscribe, drop a comment saying how much you want part 2 to be reviewed, and maybe we'll do it.
Drop a comment saying how wrong Sandro is, and how this is the greatest movie of all time, and how he's a stupid idiot poo-poo head.
I'm very excited to see what people react to my reaction. Look, it's not bad. I'm just like,
He hates this film. He's
better.
like, why do people think this is good? All those people that thought this movie was good, their opinion's bad. He actually hates you specifically if you like this film.
I do actually, though. That is true. No. Look, this movie gave us Nick Cage because he's a Coppola, so it made the big. He was essentially, well, he is because he's still alive. But Francis Ford Coppola is the Godfather of movies because all his kids are doing movies and all his nephews.
True. He's the Johnny Fontaine of Fontaine,
yes.
of real life.
The real life, yes. I think that was Elvis, but okay.
Yeah, but isn't Nick Cage the Elvis?
Oh, you mean Nick Cage is the Fontaine of the...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How is Nicolas Cage related? I just want to double check how he is actually related to...
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure Nick Cage got his first director's horse murdered in that film. That's all I'm saying. Look, going by the law of the Nicolas Cage movie where it was about himself. What was that movie called?
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's the one.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Going by that law, where he gets involved with a crime family, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say that that's canon.
Okay.
That my thing is canon, and that he deals with the mob on the regular.
That's pretty fair, I think, to say that. I think it's his. I don't even know. The family tree's so complicated, I can't figure it out. Anyway,
Look, if it was easy to figure out, then they wouldn't be a family, you know? They wouldn't be part of the family.
The family. And there we go. So, if you want to explain to me how Nicolas Cage is related to the Coppolas in the comments or on our Spotify and Apple Podcast reviews, you can do that. You can also listen on all of those and subscribe on all of those. Hey, if you like the show and you want more reviews, guess what? Patreon.com/Oldie Goodie Pod, where we're reviewing the Godfather of superhero movies, the X-Men series. Starting with the movie X-Men. That review's out soon. Our review of X2 will be out soon as well. When? I don't know, but soon. At some point. Soon.
Yeah.
You can go get them over there. Anything to say on that, Zach?
I love the X-Men series. I am totally biased, and all my reviews of it are super biased. So good luck. If you want to hear some extremely biased reviews, listen to those. And then you can hear Sandro's incorrect, wrong, tasteful reviews.
On X-Men? No, I'm pretty blinded by nostalgia on pretty much all of those, even Origins, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Just you wait till the third movie.
Oh, actually, I do hate the third movie.
Yeah, right? You'll see who's biased on that one.
We will see. Just wait until Apocalypse, and it's going to be 3 hours of hatred.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. That's where my biases end, you know?
Just wait until Dark Phoenix. Fucking hell, that one's a nightmare.
That's great, because I haven't seen that one.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to it.
And then we'll wrap it up with New Mutants. Can't wait for you to watch New Mutants for the first time.
Oh, that would be good. I'm looking forward to it.
But now it's time for you to pick a movie out of the movies that I have picked. Because, Zach, we're picking next week's movie. Now, Godfather 2 is not an option, because I didn't want to watch a 3.5 hour long movie.
You're cringe. You're just bad. You're just a hater that absolutely hates this movie.
Now, I have 5 options here, but I'm going to do a little twisty twist.
Ooh.
There are 2 groups of 2 of these movies that have the same connection, and you're going to have to immediately knock one of those out, so we'll only actually have 3 options.
Oh, shit.
And okay. I'm only going to give you genre. You've got to pick what genre of these 2 genres you would prefer. So, Zach, here we go. Your first instant knockout. Would you like a sci-fi or would you like a gothic horror?
Oh, this is a big decision that because these knock out 2 movies, right?
That's right.
Gothic horror. Well, the thing is, we've done a couple of sci-fis in this series already, right?
That's correct. We have. Yeah, we have.
Have we done gothic horrors?
No. The only horror we've done is Silence of the Lambs this season. So
yeah. Well, to be fair, that is a horror, but we have done more sci-fi. This is tricky because I've been trying to do what was it, Black Santa or
Black
Bad
Christmas?
Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Christmas. That was it. I wanted to do that one for a while.
You could find a connection, I think, for sure, definitely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. But I also want to do sci-fi because there's several sci-fi movies that I want to connect with as well.
That's right.
Oh, that you might have even picked as well. But we're such sci-fi nerds, Sandro. I can't pick the sci-fi because we're such sci-fi nerds. We'll have such a good time watching these, Sandro.
Oh, will we? Maybe we might. We may have a good time watching it.
Shit!
You've got to make the choice,
you can't
Zach.
Say that.
Da. All
right, I'm gonna kill him off. I'm gonna kill off the horror ones.
Oh my
Bang.
god, you're going sci-fi?
I'm going sci-fi. I'm going to take those other ones out back to the barn and I'm going to get them down and said I didn't do it.
You have knocked out Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
I've always wanted to watch it.
Dumb.
But you went for the sci-fi, so that one's been knocked out. It's been shot. It's dead. Okay.
I immediately regret.
And the connection with that was that it's directed by Francis Ford Coppola, so the sci-fi is also directed by Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
Okay, your next 2.
Man, I would have liked to do that.
Would you like a heist movie or a superhero movie, Zach?
I'm going to kill the superhero movie. I'm going to get it immediately. I'm going to shoot it.
You have killed Superman, the original 70s Superman, because Marlon Brando's in it. That's the connection.
Yeah.
Which means you have now a heist movie starring Marlon Brando in the mix.
Okay, I'm excited. You see, that's why I'm much happy about. Like, one of those was like killing one of my friends in the family that betrayed me, you know, and I feel really bad about it, but it had to be done. It was necessary.
Yep.
That killing off Superman, that was killing off the piece of shit brother that married my sister. Like, that was sad. Get him at bang.
And, you know, we've already covered Supergirl and Superman 4, so...
Yeah, we should do it at some point, though. That's a good option.
I have so many thoughts about... That's another Godfather for me, where so many people love that movie, but I'm like, it's just not that good, though. So...
Yeah, but nostalgia's a drug.
That's
true.
That's true. My thoughts on that movie are that maybe get a Superman movie written by someone who's read a comic in their life. That's my thoughts on that one.
Oh my god, you're such a hater.
I know. Okay, so there we go. You got 3 movies. Now, you already know that one of them is a sci-fi directed by Francis Ford Coppola. You already know that one of them's a heist movie starring Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
I will give you 2 bits of information about the third one.
I was really channeling Martin Scorsese when I killed that superhero.
That's true.
I'd just like to be clear. I just had him on the mind, and I knew his like spirit force came in me when I gathered that film out of there.
And then your third option is a crime comedy.
Ooh, comedy.
Starring Colin Farrell is what I'll tell you about that one. Yeah. So those are your 3 little options there. Now, you can ask questions. You can do whatever you like.
I'm going to go with my favorite question that I've now asked on everything, and you love this question.
Okay.
It's one of your favorite ones to
Which
answer.
one?
But if these films were to paint a painting,
oh gosh,
what would that painting depict for me?
Okay, so the first one, the sci-fi, would be like a golden like dream city.
Ooh,
you remember the movie Metropolis?
Like a Metropolis?
Yeah, kind of like a Metropolis, but like a...
It's got Metropolis vibes.
But like a utopia.
So like you have the flying golden cars sort of thing?
Yeah, very much like the Walt Disney Science Fair 1960s sort of vibe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah. So that's for the sci-fi. The second one is just like this very artistic painting of, I guess, like a bar. A lot of smoking, like a lot of smokes. A lot of drinks.
Wait, you say cartoony?
No, not cartoony. It's just like a drawing of like a bar, yeah.
Like a sketch?
I would say, yeah, it's like black and white-ish.
Yeah.
A lot of smoke in the air and a lot of drinks everywhere. And
that's a good vibe.
Yeah.
I like that vibe.
But the people in the bar are Muppets.
You really had to add that, because I knew this one was a comedy, so I'm like, where's the comedy?
This one's not a comedy, actually. This one's not a comedy. The comedy one...
Oh!
The comedy one is like... I don't even know how to, like, explain it. The comedy one is just... it's just a portrait of 2 people hanging out in the city, but they've got, like, worried looks on their face.
Oh,
but they're just in a city.
Any more descriptive of this? Like, who are these people? Who are these 2 individuals? Go into great detail.
One of them is Colin Farrell, and the other one is another actor that I can't mention, or else it's obvious what the movie is.
Yeah. I think I'm already picking up the vibe.
And maybe it's like it's obvious that they're both hiding guns, but they're pretending that they're not, but they're both anxious because they know the other one's hiding a gun. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
This is the most obvious I've been on any movie choices we've ever done. So, you know.
That's all right, because I'm and intentionally not thinking about it, so I can be still blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
I'm very deliberately not Googling anything. I'm not looking at anything.
Good.
You know? Yeah. If they went to a restaurant or a barista,
okay,
and they ordered a drink,
okay,
of sorts,
yes.
No, I was gonna say coffee. But that might be a little... That doesn't give me enough information. I want just a drink order that they would order. What's their regular drink order?
Okay.
You got me thinking about it because of the bar, right? Like, what if they went up to a bar, or maybe they prefer a barista, or maybe they just prefer like a juice, like they go to a fruit juice place. Maybe they prefer bubble tea. What is their vibe?
I know what the last one is. Okay, the first one is getting a... Oh, it's hard because it's not...
It's a utopia, right? So
it's like a utopia.
Is it more like a bubble tea?
Yeah, I'm like...
That's what I was thinking.
I feel like it's getting like an iced tea, like a fruity iced tea, because it needs the sugary hit of the iced tea before it goes to the club. After, like, in the evening, it's going to the club. So
okay, that's very cool.
Yes.
I'm liking the vibe of that one.
Yeah, for sure. The second one is just whiskey. Just whiskey.
Yep.
Straight.
I mean, they went to a bar.
Yeah.
There's probably some, like, cigarette...
like ashes in it, for sure.
Ashes in it? Yeah.
And then
I'm getting the vibe.
And then the third one's a pint of Guinness.
A pint of Guinness.
Yes, that's right. That's the third one.
Okay. Give me some colours. Why not?
First one, yellow and blue.
Would it be gold and blue or just yellow and blue?
Yeah. No, gold and blue. We'll go gold and blue. Let's go black and red for the second one.
Ooh.
And then the third one's really hard. I'm gonna say
the third one's hard for colours.
It's like sky blue and pink. Yeah.
Okay, I like all of these options. All of these have great vibes to them.
You've picked some really good ones here. I mean, the Dracula one, I think, would have been very fun, but, I'm happy with these.
Yeah, I would have liked to do that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tricky, because I like all the vibes. Because I'm weirdly, it's like the middle one seems like the least interesting, except for the Muppet bits. But also, it's kind of yeah.
The Muppet bit's going to make sense later. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. But it's also like the one I want to do the most.
Yeah,
because
for
I'm in the crime vibe at the moment. Yeah. Like, The Godfather set me on this crime.
Well, the comedy one is a crime comedy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of as well. But I don't want to eliminate the sci-fi one because that one's giving me heavy Metropolis vibes.
Yes, no, as it should. It should definitely give you very heavy Metropolis vibes, definitely. It's very, it's as, I guess, epic as, a Metropolis, it's a big one.
Yeah. Which is also making me want to pick it. But... we've done a bunch of I'm going to actually eliminate the sci-fi one.
Oh, wow. You're getting rid of it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it because it's tempting me too hard. And I'm like, we've done some sci-fis. I want to do these two other options.
Okay. Wow. Well, you've knocked it out. You have, it turns out we're not going to the club because you've knocked out Megalopolis, the sci-fi flop that Francis Ford Coppola self-financed, is full of memes, and I want to do at some point, but we're not doing that on.
Yeah.
Next
but
week.
we've done some sci-fis. Look, we can do it in the future for sure.
Definitely.
But, we've already
I'm going to put it in as an
sci-fis.
option every week. So
absolutely, I can't wait for it. So I've got these two 50-50s. I need a new question. Okay, I need a new question. If they were a crime family.
Okay.
If they were mobsters, what field of crime would they do? Would they do casinos? Would they be into the drug trade? Would they be more muscle? Are they corrupting the politicians?
Well, I mean, the first one's a heist movie, so it's definitely robberies,
Yeah.
But fancy robberies. So I would say that they probably own a museum of counterfeit, or
deal with
stolen
illegal art and other things.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. I like that.
So I would say that is the second one.
They're more like the higher echelon sort of crime.
And then the more comedic one would be, I don't even know. I feel like it would be almost petty crime, street crime kinda.
They're like a gang.
Yeah, it's
essentially a gang.
They're not bad, but there's a reason why they don't have an empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're just petty crime. They keep under the radar. They don't want to fight with the other families. They're just a family that does crime.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but okay. Well, this is a tricky choice. I'm stuck between these two because they both sound good.
It's two pretty. Yeah, no, for sure. And I will give this one for free. They're both quite a lot above 50% on the old Rotten Tomatoes meter as well. So some good choices.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Because we like a comedy here. Comedies are fun.
That's right.
Comedy's good. The other one's a heist film with bars and Muppets.
You're getting so stuck on the Muppet thing, which I love.
Okay. Can I ask, is it black and white?
No.
It's not a black and white.
It's not in
film.
black and white, no.
Because I was thinking, I'd like to do a noir film at some point. I think that'd be good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I loved the noir movies that we did a couple years ago. I'd love to do more of them, for sure.
Yeah. And so that's my sort of reasoning, because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the heist one.
Yeah, okay.
Because it has bars and other things, and I'm sure I can connect whiskey to a black and white film,
okay,
right?
yeah, sure,
to a
why
noir
not?
film, right?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's what I'm going with. Like, I'm on a crime vibe. I'm feeling it after The Godfather. I want more crime.
All right.
Crime syndicate, sort of thing. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm going to pick that one.
I'm very happy with this one. All right, let's do it.
Like, I'm sad we don't get to do the comedy one, because I feel like that would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one I'm going to go with. That's my pick.
Well, the comedy one that you knocked out was In Bruges, which is classic, like modern classic crime comedy thriller. Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson.
I've heard of that one.
They're two hitmen who I think have to like try and kill each other, but they're also friends they don't want to. It's a classic. Definitely one that I have wanted to watch. And the connection there was that there were hitmen in Godfather. That was the connection.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the one that you passed up on that one. The movie that you chose is called The Score.
The Score.
The Score.
Ah.
It's Robert De Niro and Edward Norton. Marlon Brando is also there. It's his last movie.
Oh,
They've got to do one last heist.
Yeah. I've heard about The Score before. Yeah.
The Score. And the reason why I said Muppets is because it's directed by Miss Piggy himself, Frank Oz.
Whoa!
It's
Frank
the director.
Oz. Robert De Niro. Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a cool film.
This one, I think, was an option when we were doing 2001, but we didn't do it. Don't remember why, but I'm excited to finally do it. Because,
Is this the one where, like, you see it's a bit like Ocean's 11, where you see, like, it jumps time?
I have no idea. I don't really know much about this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, though. Because,
Yeah. I remember that I was talking with a friend at some point where there's a film that it's like it jumps between time, and so you don't know the whole picture, a bit like Ocean's 11.
it's probably...
and then it all sort of comes together.
Yeah, I think like Reservoir Dogs is a pretty big one of those, but I'm not sure if this one is similar to that. But hell yeah. Well, next week we're doing The Score. Zach, The Score.
Yeah. And we'll see if it scores an oldie or a goodie.
Oh, I liked that. Oh, what a good joke to end the episode. What a good... you come to me on the day of us reviewing The Score. What I'll be saying next week.
You come on the day of my son Sandro reviewing The Score. He's going to be the new Don one day. He's going to do the rotten reviews. But he'll be in charge.
Let me go and I'm going to buy some tomatoes. Oh, I've been shot and now they're rotten.
Yep. Well, that happens in the biz,
right.
you know.
Yep.